For me, Munros are uniquely Scottish. You know, you don't get a Munro anywhere else in the world. There was something for me that made me feel quite connected to my adopted homeland. I've lived here now for 18 years. So much of that longevity is because of Scotland's wilderness, it's because of right to roam, it's because of the sea kayaking, it's because of the mountain biking, it's because of all of these things. I guess the Munro round was in many respects, you know, all these things I love about Scotland just squeezed into one intense month. Yeah, it just felt really right, really at home. My name is Jamie Aarons. I am originally from California. I was always a sporty kid, but I always hated running, and to some extent I still kind of do, but I took up trail running when I first moved to Scotland. I was inspired by the challenge to figure out how I could play to my strengths, including absolutely loving logistics.
Is there any parking there?
No.
I'm Jenny, project manager for Jamie's Munro Challenge. That's the official title, but unofficially just Tug's body, anything. All the stuff behind the scenes.
They've driven around to Glendale.
So we've got Tom's vehicle and the ACL van. We don't really need both of them coming around to Glendale.
No, but this is where at some point Tom is picking Giles up.
Previous people who've done a Munro Challenge have tried to make roughly similar days and to finish at a road so that there's a place to sleep. And Jamie just wasn't bothered about that. She was happy she could sleep anywhere.
I thought, I can't remember the last time I got 8 hours of sleep. Maybe I could go slower, but sleep less.
She suggested a plan, and I just replied with a, "That's a silly idea. What time?" And somehow that became the tagline for the whole Munro Challenge.
I think a key to the success of completing the round as quickly as I possibly can will be about having the support on the hill. It will be about having company.
It wasn't just a personal challenge, it was a real team challenge, and how we were going to bring people together and how we were going to kind of create that project as a team was a really exciting thing.
I'll do my best to stay on schedule because it makes life a lot easier.
There's a lot of hills which link together in similar ways, but Jamie wanted to make her own route. We spent a lot of time looking at where we might be able to save time or where we might be able to do something different, and a lot of time just then plotting it out. From the start, when we first started talking about it, it was about 18 months, maybe even 2 years before the actual start date when she set off.
In the end, the final plan would have me cover around 1,300 kilometres on foot, about 1,300 kilometres of cycling, and kayaking around 12 kilometres. The total estimated ascent would be around 136,000 metres, which is the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest more than 15 times. To break the overall record, I would have to do all of this in under 32 days.
Which I thought would be quite fun. It just wouldn't receive.
Different, so the 2 locks and the one that Alex set, and we are going to need this in points.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You out there?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. See you tomorrow. See you in a few hours. Day 1 of the Munro round started on the island of Mull.
Should have washed my shoes in respect to the challenge, but it's rough.
I think we take one right
And
sail in.
yeah, just like fingers.
It's like a different classification. So,
When I was
Right, ready for a wee day in the hill?
we down the hill.
Let's go, day 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
6:30. Let's go.
I started out by doing an out and back of Ben Moore.
Well, according to the dot tracker, she's running.
An honour.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
Do you need anything to be ready?
I then cycled from the foot of Ben More to Fishnish, accompanied by my brother, Kyle, who had travelled over from DC in the States to join me. From there, I kayaked to Lochaline on the mainland.
That's a lovely boat you've got there, Jamie.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Once we get there, I've had my triathlon for the day. I then cycled around 95 kilometres to the Glenfinnan Viaduct. And from there I picked up a couple of friends.
Good luck.
We're jogging.
And we did 3 Munros together. I came off those Munros to a track where I had a mountain bike waiting for me, thanks to Andy. I mountain biked off that track to a road where I picked up a road bike and my brother again, where we cycled around 20 kilometres to the start of day 2. The Munro Challenge was by far the most daunting thing I've ever undertaken. Just completing it would be an incredible success. My main motivation has never been to win a race or to do well against other people, ever. My main motivation is to do the best that I can do. Oh, that was so much more enjoyable than I was expecting.
Saturday night summits.
Look at the company I keep. That influences a lot.
What time is it, Jamie?
It's uni time. I'm gonna eat all the pizza. See you tomorrow. See you in an hour and a half.
Let's go.
See you tomorrow.
Have fun. Look ahead, look ahead.
Oh, yes! Tick or scab? It's everybody's favorite pastime.
Yes.
Tick or scab?
Oh, rose. It's just for
Scab.
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 Yay.
I think it's safe to say I always knew today was going to be a tough day. I think I still managed to underestimate it. There were some tears. Not many. At least not done. Alright, let's get safely down off this hill. Get some food, get some rest. Oh yeah, it's a good bike ride. We really know how to vacation.
What's going on, Jamie? The people want to know.
Do they?
Yeah.
If the people knew the half of it, they wouldn't want to know. We are in Chateau ACL hire van. Got my legs on. Got my brother sleeping on the floor. Got Andy, the jack of all trades, fixer of everything, legend. But we're gonna do it all again in T-minus 6 hours.
I'm Andy, I'm Jamie's partner. I was the on-the-ground operations guy during Jamie's challenge. Every time she brought a bike in, it got like a mini service just to make sure I'd done everything I could possibly think of to make sure that there weren't any bike issues, and there weren't. So making sure all her gadgets worked, bike lights and trackers and watches with routes on them, and she had these like inflatable recovery legs. Of course, those need charging up, making sure there's hot food when there needs to be, lots of wee little bits of logistics like that.
So I'm just about to set up a towing system to get Jamie's mountain bike into position for when she comes off the hill. Using my e-bike. So I've set up a tow using a pannier rack and the roof rack of a car without the front wheel on. Right, I'm going to have a wee test run. I suppose I better put my helmet on, hadn't I?
Success.
Yes, we're away. Doesn't like sharp turns, but that's fine, there won't be many. To keep the strap with the wheel on.
One of my sort of big wins that I am pretty pleased about is leading Jamie's brakes on the side of Benvuya and pulling that off. That was a potential mini disaster that I think would have set Jamie back hours. It was in a sense a bit of a make or break moment for me personally. I'm sure lots of the runners had their moments where they knew they had to step up and get Jamie through a section, and that was something where I felt under time pressure. It could go wrong. What's going to happen if I can't fix this? Well, Jamie's going to have handed her bike and she's going to have to go out on foot, but that would have taken her quite a bit longer and would have been quite a lot more energy expended, etc., etc. Yep, go. You're okay. Lovely job. And her back brake is working. Brilliant.
So how do you guys know Jamie then? How did you come across?
We don't.
You don't know Jamie?
No, I never met her.
I don't know who this person is, apart from they must be mad. I didn't really think it through that it was going to be in the dark, but...
Yes.
Hello. Why, hello. I'm not taking a step more than I have to.
Straight into the sea!
Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm Jamie.
I'm Tricia.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. I've still got to get you to the other side.
Well, thank you for even, being agreeable to coming out in what is now the middle of the night. I really greatly appreciate it.
See the bike guide on the other side, just in case.
Thank you.
That'll probably... I think this one might be a little bit...
I've been awake for nearly 24 hours.
Yeah, I know, so I'm just feeding them on.
You do that, I think. Is there a wee clip on this one? I think. How many people does it take to get Jamie into a buoyancy aid? There was nothing monotonous about it. Yeah, it was just the next hill and the next summit, and there's something quite invigorating about getting to that next top. I don't focus on this at all. I focus on the Kerr.
Jamie, we need to find you better stuff to do.
No two hills are the same. No two experiences were the same. Even when the terrain was horrid, it was maybe a different kind of horrid.
Soggy people. Are you feeling refreshed?
As you said, laundry day.
Laundry day. Everything's getting a wash.
So we're in the middle of a pretty heavy thunder and lightning storm at the moment. I'll take you outside just briefly, just to show you how bad it is. Really worried about Jamie. She's up, probably over there somewhere in those mountains.
I've been to a lot of mountain areas of the world, and honestly I've never seen so much rain fall in so little time.
Man, I'm ringing.
We were just about to make our way up Bendelap, and the apocalypse decided to join us. It was all a bit too close, so hopefully not going to be stopped for too long. So it's about 30 seconds since we filmed the last bit. Deteriorated rather quickly. As if we're here.
So we are on an insane adventure to try and meet Jamie at first set. So with all the thunderstorms that happened earlier today, apparently the road is damaged. We've got everything ready, and we found out that the road is closed at Roy Bridge. The men have kindly let us pass the roadblock, and we're not sure if we can get to Jamie or how we're going to get to Jamie. We might end up walking. So things have escalated a little bit. We found a landslide we can't get past, so we've had to park up the van, and we're hiking in now to try and meet Jamie. Susie is here. She's wearing sandals to cross the landslide because it's water running on the road. This is a public highway. We are still at least 7 kilometres from where we need to be. So we're doing our best to make this happen.
I had to dot watch constantly. It was just a useful piece of technology that made it a lot easier to try to predict where Jamie was going to be and when. So when I went out of signal from the internet and I couldn't follow Jamie's tracker on my phone, I would just have to stick to the schedule as we'd planned it. There were a couple of times I was waiting 2, 3, 4 hours, got everything there, Jamie's update on food and things like that, and then you just have to, you just don't know. You can't get any information, so you just have to wait. And eventually they turn up.
Oh, you're a legend. You're an actual legend. Oh my gosh, the super noodles. I don't even realize how much I needed them.
Eat them all, please.
I'm up.
Just swapping socks. Do you want some dry socks for this?
No, sure.
Just to keep your road shoes nice.
Well,
we will. That's why.
Okay, sorry.
Moving
Yeah.
on the bike.
Kyle, how long is this section? Can you remember?
16.8 miles.
Oh, it's a bit further than I thought. Did you get the tracker, Kyle?
Yep. Cool. Just before you boost, obviously the midges are tormenting you.
Yeah,
Just
right,
take
right.
a moment to think, have you definitely got everything you need?
Yeah, so it's mostly just trackers, lights, helmet.
Just to be clear, you are stopping tonight, right?
Yeah.
You are stopping at the end of this lane.
Was that a question or a statement? I am stopping.
Yes.
I am stopping.
Good.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Here with Ian, super helpful. Was a stranger before this silly idea and has now joined me for God knows how many miles and moans. I've got an incredible team. It's because of them that I'm still moving in the right direction. Still not on schedule, but only within, I suppose, 24 hours of where I wanted to be. Yeah, we'll get up and down safe and sound, call it a night, 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then back at it tomorrow.
She was clearly exhausted a few times. There were times when she was pushing herself to go on, and I thought she should just let herself have just a little bit of sleep. From my point of view, I tried not to push too hard on my opinions, but the behind the scenes crew, we were all a bit worried about how much sleep she was skipping, and even from really quite early on in the challenge. But the problem is you also don't want to sow too many seeds of self-doubt in the person. You're just trying to sort of say, why don't you just give yourself a little bit longer to have a rest tonight? But always she was like, no, I'm going to get up, I'm going to move.
During the rounds, I obviously got myself into that state of being so exhausted when I felt that just overwhelming need to sleep come on. Whoever I was with, I would just say, right, I just need to stop. And I would just drop wherever I was and sleep for, I think the longest micro nap I had was 8 minutes. But more often than not, I literally just laid in a heap on the side of a hill for 1 minute, 2 minutes. And then, a slight nudge, sometimes a bit of a heavier shake, and then, right, back you go. We've got a job to do. We need to keep going.
Just after 3 in the morning, and we can't quite get Jamie out of bed. She's having a nice little snooze on the mountainside.
Besides being super sleepy, I physically actually felt fine until the end when my foot was really sore and I was on pain medication. So kind of just having to manage that and make sure that there were, I suppose, people who were with me who were keeping track of when I'd last had a paracetamol, for example.
I know the briefing thing is, so briefing's amazing for this, but I know that you don't want to use NSAIDs. But you're probably not at high risk from using briefing at the moment because you've done all your muscle breakdown. You're well hydrated.
The degree of pain I was in, probably if it had been up to me, I probably wouldn't have made very healthy decisions.
So my feet have been in a bit of a state for the last week, but the last 24 hours were particularly horrid. Blisters on the outside of both heels, and I've got a sort of evolving, I don't know, skin issue on the bottom of my left foot that's including a bit of sort of nerve, not damage, but sensitivity. The last couple of days, Leoch, Fisherfield, and Shalach were painfully slow. I was in a lot of pain every step.
We think the best guess is that I had a deeply rooted, I don't even know if that's the right word, internal infected blister. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could get blisters inside, but apparently you can. And it was probably pressing on a nerve in the ball of my foot. So as it got bigger and more angry, nerves in my feet got more angry, and touching my foot to the ground became increasingly horrid.
We there yet?
Nearly there. Just around the corner.
A likely story.
Well, sort of just around the corner. Before the challenge, Jamie said that one of her superpowers was just how stubborn she was. I think I hadn't realised just how stubborn she was, and I'm still amazed by her ability to keep going after such long days on such sleep deprivation, to be able to get up again and say, I am keeping going.
She's just taught us all that we are so much more capable. And actually it's a big mind game, and you just get out there and you get on with it and you do it and you put one foot in the front of the other. She's taught me so much by doing this round, and I'm incredibly grateful to her for that.
For me, it was, if I was gonna bail, it needed to be, there would have been loss of limb, or like something really, really serious needed to have happened for me to have stopped, because of how much sacrifice so many other people had made to get me to that point.
We are just summiting, walked all through the night. Jamie Adams is an absolute machine. Sort of blown away by the scale of it, I suppose. Just watching her, the way she's like so methodically just like getting up and going, just like one step after another, just blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Tell us how you feel. It's a bit surreal when you kind of stop and think about it. I've come a long way in 3 weeks. Quite proud of myself. I'm quite knackered. Quite chuffed that you guys are here to share this. It's absolutely stunning. So I brought you a little... Oh. Yay! Party on the summit! Woo! Hey! Yeah! Boom, boom, boom!
Yes!
I think I was very conscious of not letting the views and the people and the experience pass me by.
Oh, woof, that's filthy.
So it wasn't just the views, it was also the lightning storms and the rainbows and the Brocken spectres, and those were a part of the view, obviously, but people will go through their whole lives without experiencing some of the things that I got to see in a condensed, 31-day period, and for that I feel really fortunate. I don't think people perhaps realize how much strength and how much it buoyed me to know that people out there were watching and that people cared and that people were saying they were inspired by what we were doing. And the more I heard messages like that, the more I knew that I certainly wasn't going to quit, but I really wanted to make people proud. I'm really, really thankful to everyone behind the scenes who really did help see me through to that last summit.
The final Munro, that was just like being out on the hill with your friends. By that point, she knew she'd got the record, and it was nice not to have the time pressure that we'd had for the rest of the whole month, where we'd just been trying to keep Jamie safe on the hill, trying to get her as quickly as possible from A to B, transition her quickly, do good route finding. It was nice to do a hill and not have a time pressure, and actually just enjoy it. And I was really glad that was the case for her. It's more than just Munro's, it's just a whole community that she's created, and I think that'll last a long time. A very long time.
The generosity and the enthusiasm that people brought to an adventure that I felt was very selfish, and actually we created this community of well over 100 people, many of whom were complete and utter strangers before we started. It's just phenomenal. It was absolutely worth the pain. It was absolutely worth 2 years of planning. It was absolutely worth the few tears that were shed. It was worth the sunburn. It was worth all the things that at the time felt especially challenging and especially difficult. I'm so proud of what we did.